Today's video is about review for polynomial functions. 6a. Consider the function g of x equals bx minus 3 plus 1 over x squared. X is not 0. Write down the equation of a vertical asymptote of the graph of y equals g of x. When you talk about the vertical asymptote line, you check rational function. Polynomial as a denominator. That is x squared equals 0. So we get x equals 0, which means y-axis is the vertical asymptote line. 6b, write down g prime of x, that's the derivative of g of x. Remember this, x to the nth power rule of derivative, we get nx is n minus 1. Try to remember the following derivative, 1 over x squared. You need to change this into power form. Then you drop down, you will get the negative 2 over x to the third power. For 1 over x, you will get the x to the negative first power. Derivative will be negative 1 over x squared. For constant number, that equals to 0. For x, derivative equals 1. For x squared, that derivative will be 2x. Therefore, for g prime of x equals bx, we do derivative, minus 3, we do derivative, plus 1 over x squared, we do derivative. You will get the b. This will be 0. This one will be here, negative 2 over x to the third power. For 6c, the line t is the tangent to the graph of y equals g of x at the point where x equals 1. The gradient of t is 3, show that b equals 5. Let's talk about derivative of fx. The meaning for that is slope of a tangent line. The second one, at maximum or minimum point, the derivative of fx equals to 0. Third one, when f prime of x greater than 0, it's an increasing function. When f prime of x less than 0, it's a decreasing function. If you know these 3 facts about derivative of f of x, it will be very helpful for you to get good grade in IB exam. Therefore, when we say t is the tangent to the graph of y equals g of x, and the gradient of t is 3, means g prime of something equals 3. This is where x equals 1, so g prime of 1 equals 3. Therefore, you need to plug 1 into this derivative function. You will get b minus 2 over 1 to the third power equals 3. So we have b minus 2 equals 3. Therefore, b equals 5. That's how show that b equals 5. Go to 60. The line t is a tangent to the graph of y equals g of x at a point where x equals 1. the gradient t is 3, find the equation of t. Since b equals 5, we already got the y equals 5x minus 3 plus 1 over x squared. Therefore, if we want to figure out the equation, we got to use y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. We got the x1 equals 1. y1, you have to plug into this g function, the original function. That is this one. So we plug in 5 times 1 minus 3 plus 1 over 1 squared. You will get 3. The gradient of t equals 3, which means slope equals 3. Therefore, you will get y minus 3. Because for x1, y1 will be 1, 3 equals 3 times x minus 1. This will be the solution to 6D. Because you are not asked to change it into specific form, you can just leave as it is. But if you want to change into slope-intercept form, we can do that. Y minus 3 equals 3x minus 3. Add 3 both sides, you will get the y equals 3x. Go to 6E. Use your graphing calculator to find the coordinates of points where graph of y equals g of x intersects the x-axis. This is the graph. And then you figure out the x-intercept will be negative 0.4390. For 6F, sketch the graph of y equals g of x for x between this, y between that, indicating clearly your answer to part E. Draw the line T on your sketch. For the T is a tangent line. So you have to show y-intercept. And also you have to show the point on the curve, which means 1, 3. Now let's sketch this graph. Since we already got the b equals 5, so we are scratching this function 5x minus 3 plus 1 over x squared. You are given the domain and a range. So you will set up a domain range as a given. First of all, you have to know for 4 marks for sketching this polynomial function, how to award those 4 marks. 1 mark for axis labels and indicated skews. 1 mark for smooth curve with correct general shape. 1 mark for x-intercept and y-intercept. 1 mark for correct local minimum and maximum points. Therefore, we put the function into graphing calculator. Make sure the window is set up as it is. The x-intercept is 0.439. You will get over here. The minimum point, that is 0.737 and 2.5. Just estimate over here. Sketch the graph like this. As we know, the y-axis is a vertical asymptote line, which means your graph very, very close but never touch. Now let's sketch this line T. You will get the y equals 3x. So find the 1, 3 is here. The y-intercept will be 0, 0. So you will get the 0, 0 and 1, 3. Then connect these 2 points. Make sure it's only one intercept. This is only one intercept. That is 1, 3. Put into a graphing calculator, you could see this. For 6J, need to figure out the local minimum point. That is 0.737 and 2.53. For 6H, write down the interval for which g of x is increasing in the domain x between 0 and 5. So we know this point is 0.737. Increasing part will be here, which means when x is greater than or equal to 0.737. But remember, we need less than 5, so less than 5. This will be the solution to 6H. A lot of students will forget this less than 5. So when you do the IB exam, pay more attention to the given domain.